The message on her back wasn't a tattoo. It was carved. 3 raw, bleeding words etched into her skin just above her spine. Property of a liar. And no, I didn't do it. That night, while my wife was dragged out of a club bathroom with a broken leg and blood soaking through her red dress, I was across town, sitting fireside, sipping whiskey. Not alone, either. I was with Cora, the wife of the man my wife had been sneaking around with. The local news played quietly in the background. Breaking. 2 injured in club attack. Motive unknown. Cora didn't flinch. Neither did I. When my phone buzzed, I already knew who it would be. Mr. Campbell? Detective Walker. Mind answering a few questions? I leaned back, calm as ever. Of course, detective. I've got nothing to hide. And I didn't. My alibi was airtight. Restaurant receipts. Security footage. Eyewitnesses who saw us laughing over dessert at exactly 9:47 p.m., the same moment paramedics were peeling my wife off the floor of a filthy club restroom. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Because this didn't start with police tape and hospital monitors. It started quietly, subtly, with distance. With phone screens flipped face down, late-night showers, and perfume I didn't recognize. Brianna used to wear vanilla. That night I hugged her and caught something darker. Muskio. It stuck in my lungs like smoke. I didn't say anything. That was 6 months ago. She changed her hair. Started dressing younger. Laughed too loud at things that weren't funny. Her phone never left her hand. And that laugh, high-pitched, fake, like a teenager trying to impress someone at a party, I hadn't heard that laugh in years. I heard it through the bathroom door one night while she was on speakerphone. She giggled, then paused, then whispered something low, with the kind of tone you don't use on a friend. I didn't storm in. I didn't even ask. I just started listening. I tracked nothing dramatic. No lipstick on collars. No hotel keys. Just patterns. Texts at midnight. Uber rides when she said she was with Laura. Thing is, Laura moved to Denver last year. Then came the story. Instagram. Girls' night. Flashing lights. But in the mirror behind her, barely visible, a man's arm. Sunglasses indoors. A Challenger keychain on his belt loop. Tyler. I knew who he was. Cora's husband. Jim Rat. Bedroom DJ. Walked like every sidewalk owed him a thank you. That was the moment I stopped being the clueless husband. I didn't fight. I smiled. Kissed her cheek. Told her I loved her. Then I called Cora. She didn't cry. She just said, "Tell me what you know." What we did next wasn't rage. It was strategy. We weren't seeking pain. We were seeking clarity. And maybe, in our own quiet way, justice. She had everything: screenshots, call logs, fake hotel names. So did I. Together, we found the weak link. Tyler's habits. His Friday night routines. The same club every week. The same backroom. Always thinking he was invisible in the dark. He wasn't. We didn't hire anyone. We didn't touch them. But we knew who would. All we did was make sure certain people knew where Tyler would be, when, and with who. The rest? That was gravity. Now Brianna lay in a hospital bed, stitched and silent, with a message across her back that wasn't ours, but didn't surprise us either. And me? I sipped whiskey and watched the fire dance. I didn't feel joy. Not even relief. Just a kind of stillness I hadn't felt in months. This wasn't revenge. This was the beginning. After the hospital, I didn't go see her. I could have. She was asking for me. Nurses said she kept whispering my name like a prayer. Or maybe a confession. But I stayed home. Poured myself coffee. Fed the dog. Folded laundry that wasn't mine anymore. There's something strange about knowing. Knowing not because someone told you, but because your gut collected every little piece and quietly put the puzzle together before your heart could catch up. I used to miss her when she was late. Now I timed how long it would take her to send a fake, "Sorry, babe, my phone died" text. 8 minutes, usually. Her routines had changed. She used to leave her gym bag on the kitchen chair. Then one day, it started living in the trunk of her car. She started taking longer showers. Music on full volume. Her body turned away from me in bed. I told myself it was stress. Work. Hormones. Anything but what it was. One night, I found a receipt in her coat pocket from a boutique I'd never heard of. It wasn't the store that got me, it was the name on the transaction. Mr. and Mrs. Knight. We don't share a last name. I didn't ask. Instead, I walked into the garage and stood in silence for 15 minutes, just listening to the sound of the fridge hum. I didn't want to hear her voice again until I was ready to stop believing it. When I finally did confront her, not about Tyler, but something small, Like her forgetting our dinner plans, she smiled sweetly and said, "You've been so tense lately. You okay?" It was masterful. Like she was the concerned one. Like I was the problem. I nodded and started watching more carefully. Her phone was passcode locked now. Not just locked, muted. No vibrations. Just upside down on the counter. I'd hear her laugh to herself in the shower. That same breathy laugh she used to reserve for me, back when she thought I was worth impressing. She came home one evening, hair curled, makeup still fresh, and said she'd been at a work event. I asked if she had fun. She said it was boring, but I could smell club smoke in her coat. Her heels had scuff marks on the inside edge, like she'd been dancing. You don't dance at networking events. That night, she climbed into bed and kissed my shoulder like it was routine. I lay still, pretending to sleep, as if the weight of her lips hadn't already crushed something in me. I wasn't angry yet. I was something worse. Still. And in that stillness, I saw everything. Her reflection in mirrors when she didn't know I was watching. Her half-answers to simple questions. The new way she touched her necklace when she lied. She had tells. We all do. But hers were loud if you knew what to look for. I started making copies. Of receipts. Of phone records. Of deleted texts she thought were gone forever. I tracked the alias names on her rideshares. She never used her own account anymore. Too easy to trace. But you'd be surprised how often people forget to change destinations. Always the same club. Always Friday nights. Sometimes Wednesdays, when she said she was going to see her sister. I didn't tell her I knew. I just smiled more. Cleaned up after dinner. Played the part. Because I wasn't going to blow it all on a screaming match. No, this needed time. Precision. And maybe, if I'm being honest, a little dignity. She once told me I was too calm. She said it like a flaw. Maybe it was. But it's also what gave me the patience to wait for the right moment. Not to catch her. To let her walk right into the fire she lit herself. Cora wore sunglasses when she showed up at the cafe, even though it was cloudy. She didn't say much. Just sat down, slid a manila envelope across the table, and ordered tea. No sugar. No milk. Like she didn't trust sweetness anymore. Inside the envelope, hotel receipts. Screenshots. A blurry photo from a parking garage camera. Tyler leaning into the passenger side of my wife's car. I added what I had. Lyft drop-offs. A forwarded email about a weekend workshop in Chicago, one that never existed. We didn't need to convince each other. That part was already done. It started about 3 months ago, she said, looking straight ahead. But I think they were talking before that. I nodded. Same. 6 months, maybe longer. We weren't angry. Not in the way people imagine it. No screaming. No slammed fists. Just the kind of tire that settles in when you've spent too long pretending things might still go back to normal. Tyler and Brianna weren't discreet. They thought they were, but only because we stopped looking. That's the thing about trust. It makes you blind. But once you see, you can't unsee anything. We didn't plan revenge. Not at first. It started more like curiosity. If we could find the cracks, maybe we could make sense of it all. Then it shifted. Not because we wanted to hurt them, but because we realized they needed to be stopped. Not punished. Just revealed. We chose the club for a reason. Tyler's usual place, where he played big man with bottle service tips he never paid. Brianna loved the lights. The attention. The fake sense of being someone new, if only for a few hours. They went there every Friday night. We knew the bartender, Leo. One of those guys who'd seen too much and remembered everything. He didn't like Tyler. Talks too loud, tips too light. When we told him what was going on, he raised an eyebrow. You want me to do something? No, I said. We just need access. One room. One night. He thought about it. Then shrugged. Back hallway door. I'll leave it open. Cameras don't work back there. Except one. That was Cora's idea. She brought the flash drive. Said we might need footage. Not for court. Not for public shame. Just so they couldn't deny what they did. Truth in pixels. The rest wasn't ours. We didn't hire anyone. We didn't call in favors. We just made sure a few people knew where Tyler would be. When? With who? Cora had been digging. Tyler had debts, old ones. Bad ones. People he owed. People who didn't send reminders. They sent messages. We didn't direct the storm. We just pointed at the match. And then waited. That Friday, I made pancakes like I always did. Kissed Brianna goodbye at the door. She smiled, distracted. Said she was seeing Laura. I smiled too. Have fun. She didn't see me watching from the upstairs window as her car turned the corner. Cora texted an hour later. They're here. I didn't ask for updates. I turned off my phone, drove to the restaurant. She met me at 9:15, in a black coat, hair pulled back. No makeup. We sat down, ordered dinner, talked about everything except them. When the bill came, I asked for 2 copies. The timestamp read 9:47 p.m. That was the exact moment my wife was crawling across a tiled floor, heels broken, mascara bleeding into the word carved on her back. Property of a liar. I didn't touch her, but I was there. In every decision, in every silence. Not as the villain, as the mirror. The first time I saw her after that night, she was lying in a hospital bed, wrapped in too many blankets for someone who always used to sleep with the window open. Her leg was elevated, skin pale, lips dry. Her voice cracked when she saw me standing in the doorway. "Ryan," she said, like she'd been waiting for a rescue. I didn't move, just watched her. No flowers, no hand to hold. I leaned against the wall, arms crossed. Calm, but not warm. She blinked at me, confused. What happened? "You tell me," I said. "Last I heard, you were going out for wine with Laura." Her mouth opened slightly, then closed. A twitch in her left eye, her tell. I don't remember much. I think someone drugged me. Of course. That old song. As if she was some innocent swept up in a mystery. I stepped closer. "They carved the word, liar, into your back, Brianna. That wasn't random. Someone wanted to make a point." She looked away. "Good." That's when Cora entered the room, silent as a ghost. She didn't say a word, just stood at the foot of the bed, arms folded, like judgment itself. Brianna flinched. "Why is she here?" Her voice was small, childlike. "She's with me," I answered. That hit harder than the fall she took at the club. Brianna tried to sit up, but winced in pain. "Are you serious?" "As a heart attack." I pulled up a chair and sat beside her, not too close. "While you were out sneaking around, Cora and I were putting the pieces together. Every lie. Every last spa weekend that turned into motel receipts. Every text Tyler thought he was clever enough to delete." Her eyes welled up with tears, not the real kind, just enough to make her voice tremble. "You think I wanted this? You think I planned for it to end like this?" "No." Cora finally spoke, her voice low and clear. "You planned for us to never find out. You thought you were smarter than us. You weren't. You were just louder." She reached into her purse, took out a flash drive, and placed it gently on the rolling tray beside the bed. "Security footage. Club camera by the fire exit. You don't get to pretend this didn't happen." Brianna's mouth opened again, like a fish gasping for breath. "This is insane. You're framing me." "No one's framing you," I said, standing up. "You framed yourself the moment you started using my kindness as cover." She shook her head weakly. "Please, Ryan, please don't do this." "I'm not doing anything," I said. "You already did it. All of it. I'm just done pretending it didn't happen." There was silence, thick and stale, like the room had stopped breathing. Then, in a softer tone, she asked, "What are you going to do?" I looked around the room. The pale blue walls. The sterile tray table. The smell of antiseptic trying to cover something rotten. "I'm going to finish what you started," I said simply. Her eyes widened. "What does that mean?" "It means the divorce papers are already signed. It means your sponsors already have the footage. It means I'm done being the quiet one." Her voice broke as she collapsed deeper into the bed. "Was it you?" she whispered. "That night? The message? The people? Was it you?" I stared at her for a long second. Long enough for her to see something in my face that she hadn't seen in years. Then I smiled, just slightly. "Doesn't matter now, does it?" And with that, Cora and I walked out. No anger. No final word. Just the steady echo of our steps down the hallway. The truth had already spoken. Brianna didn't call me for 2 days. When she finally did, it wasn't to apologize. It was to beg. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail, whispering my name like it used to mean something. Said she never meant to hurt me. That she didn't expect things to go this far. But the thing about choices is, they always go as far as you let them. I spent those days alone, in the new apartment I'd rented downtown. Quiet place. Clean. A small balcony that faced the morning light. No perfume in the air. No double buzz from a second phone hidden in the drawer. Just me, a mattress on the floor, and the peace she never gave me. I didn't miss her. And that scared me a little. People think heartbreak is loud, screaming, crying, throwing plates. But mine sounded like silence. Like soft jazz from the cafe downstairs. Like the click of a laptop closing after sending the last email to her brand partners. Within a week, they started dropping her. First the fitness brand, then the skincare company, then the lifestyle blog that had once called her an authentic voice of modern womanhood. Now, she was a punchline, a meme. Clips of her laughing with Tyler behind the club made it to Reddit. Screenshots of her messages, taken by Cora before Brianna deleted them, surfaced on Twitter. Someone printed t-shirts with the carving from her back, property of a liar, and started selling them online. Last I checked, they were sold out. And still, I said nothing. Didn't post. Didn't correct the headlines. Didn't try to explain. The truth didn't need my voice. It walked just fine on its own. I went for walks in the evening, past people who didn't know my name, and I liked that. I liked that I could be anonymous again. I didn't need to prove I was the good guy. But peace is never permanent. One night, my phone buzzed with a call from a blocked number. I let it go to voicemail. Then I listened. Her voice was low, shaky. "Ryan, I know you hate me, and I deserve it. But I think someone's watching me." She paused. "I'm serious. I saw a man outside my apartment. Same car 2 nights in a row. Tires were slashed this morning. This isn't online hate. This is real." She sounded scared. And for a moment, I wanted to believe it was just paranoia, guilt, consequence. But then she said something that stuck. "I think it's someone you told." The words hit different. I sat up straight, listened again. Her tone wasn't accusing, just certain. That night at the club, what happened wasn't random. You and Cora planned something. I know it. And now, I think someone else picked it up. And I don't think they're done. I didn't sleep that night. I kept telling myself it wasn't my problem. She made this mess. She lit the match. But I had handed her the gasoline. The next evening, I got a call from Cora. "Did you hear about Brianna?" she asked. "No." "She got jumped outside her gym. Broken wrist. Black eye." She says the guy whispered, "Liar gets what she deserves." I sat down. Cold spread through my chest. "You didn't do this, right?" she asked. "No." "Did you?" "Of course not." Silence. Then, "So who did?" That was the moment I realized we weren't the only ones playing. The story wasn't over. It was evolving. Cora called me again the next morning. No small talk this time. Her voice was lower, clipped. "We need to meet. Tonight. My place. No phones." That last part landed heavier than the rest. When someone like Cora says no phones, it means she's not scared. She's preparing. I got there just after 8. She'd pulled the blinds, unplugged the TV, already poured 2 glasses of wine. She didn't offer a toast. "Talk," she said. I told her everything Brianna had said. The stalking. The slashed tires. The whisper outside the gym. Cora didn't look surprised. "He found me too," she said. "Dead bird on my porch this morning. Neck twisted." Something shifted in the air. This wasn't just consequence anymore. It was escalation. "Who is he?" I asked. She walked to a drawer and pulled out a thick folder of paper, not digital. Photos, printouts, red ink notes. "Tyler owed people," she said. "Old scams. Fake crypto investments. Promised returns that never came." She handed me a sheet with a mugshot stapled to the top. Brandon Malaloy. Age 46. Assault conviction. Released 3 months ago. Tyler took 60 grand from him. Brandon did time because of it. Word is, he made a list in prison. Everyone tied to Tyler. Every name. Every face. I looked down the page. There we were. My name. Hers. Brianna's. Even Tyler's old gym partner. Some of them marked in black. A few in red. "What's red mean?" "Inmate code," Cora said quietly. "Red means final." I leaned back. My breath felt sharp in my chest. This wasn't part of the plan. "No," she said. "This is someone else's plan now." We sat in silence for a long time. The kind that makes you aware of every sound outside your window. Then she looked at me, something in her face that hadn't been there before. Not anger. Not fear. Something heavier. "You should warn her," she said. I raised an eyebrow. "Brianna." Cora nodded. "I know what she did. But this is different. We planned exposure, not trauma. We lit a fire. He's pouring gasoline." I didn't argue. The next morning, I called. Brianna answered on the first ring. Her voice was soft, almost unfamiliar. "Ryan." "Listen to me," I said. "You're in danger. It's not from me. His name is Brandon Malaloy. Tyler owed him. He thinks you were involved." There was a pause. Then, "I know that name. Tyler mentioned him once. Said he was the only person who'd actually kill him if he got out." "Well, he's out," I said. "And I don't think he cares who was sleeping with who." He sees names, connections. That's enough. She didn't speak. I pictured her in some motel room, curtain half drawn, afraid to breathe too loud. I'm not calling again, I added. Get out of town. Now. And I hung up. Because whatever she was to me once, wife, stranger, ghost, I wasn't going to let her become a statistic. Not like that. But I also knew something else. If Brandon was building a list, I was on it too. That night, I came home and found an envelope under my door. No return address. No stamp. Just one line, written in jagged black ink. You played a part. Now pay the price. My blood ran cold. I checked the building's hallway camera. Footage cut out from 2:16 to 2:24 a.m. A perfect blackout window. Whoever this was, they knew how to move. I called Cora. He found me, I said. Her voice didn't tremble. He's not just watching, she said. He's closing in. I should have run. Should have packed a duffel, changed my number, wiped my phone, and disappeared into a nameless city like they do in movies. But I didn't. Because there's something worse than fear when you're being hunted, not knowing when it ends. So I stopped running. I made a call to the only man I knew who lived in the kind of world where cameras fail and threats come in all caps, Marcus Wells. Ex-military. Ex-felon. Now something in between. Private security, if you want to be polite. I didn't explain everything. Just gave him the name, Brandon Malaloy. And what I had, the note, the folder, the blackout footage. He didn't ask why I was involved. Just asked one question. You want him gone? No, I said. I want him to stop. 3 days later, Marcus texted. Found him. Philly. Alone. Wants a war. I didn't book a return ticket. The warehouse was exactly what you'd expect. Cracked windows, rusted scaffolding, a smell like engine oil and mold. Marcus waited near the side door, hands in his jacket. He's inside, he said. But he's not right in the head. Neither am I replied. Brandon was sitting in a folding chair in the middle of the room. Bare bulb overhead. Knife flipping between his fingers. Thick hands. Shaved head. The kind of face that looks calm until it doesn't. He didn't look up when I entered. You're Ryan, he said. I didn't answer. You helped ruin me, he added. Your wife. Her boyfriend. All of you. I stepped closer. This ends now. He chuckled. You think you can threaten me? No, I said. I came to offer a deal. That got his attention. He looked up, eyes sharp like broken glass. Go on. I reached into my coat and pulled out a flash drive. Dropped it between us. Tyler's encrypted files. Contacts. Burners. Wallets. Every scam. Every lie. Real leverage. His smile vanished. He stared at the drive like it was breathing. This gives me back my money? It gives you power, I said. It gets you even. And it keeps the rest of us out of your way. He stood. Slowly. Stepped close enough for me to smell the stale smoke in his coat. I could kill you right now. You could, I said calmly. But then this deal disappears. And you go back to prison. Or worse, someone like me comes back with less mercy. We locked eyes. For a moment, I didn't know if I was about to get stabbed or recruited. Then he stepped back. Deal. I nodded once and walked out without turning around. Not because I wasn't scared, but because I had nothing left to give him. Back home, I didn't wait for Brianna to call. She never did. I think she knew it was done, not just the marriage, but the space where my name used to live in her life. Cora disappeared too, just like she promised. No texts. No goodbyes. Just silence, perfectly shaped. Some nights I sit on that same balcony, watching planes cut across the sky. Sometimes I wonder if one of them is taking her somewhere quieter. Safer. What did I learn? That betrayal doesn't always bleed. That revenge doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's quiet. Surgical. And the best part? They never see it coming. But that's not what I'm proud of. What I'm proud of is that I never became what they were. I didn't burn everything. I walked away from the fire. And for the first time in a long, long time, I didn't feel the smoke.